guys, Corey Jacobsen here with Elk 101, and today I'm taking a look at what's in my pack. And our style of elk hunting is a little different than many, and so I just wanted to go through the items that are in my pack for our run and gun, fast and light, mobile style of elk hunting. And one thing to keep in mind is we're hunting from primarily a base camp, so we're hunting out of a vehicle, and each morning getting up, putting our pack together, and heading out for the day, returning again to that base camp. So with that style of hunting, we're covering a lot of country on foot, typically 10 to 12 miles a day, and I need my pack to be light. So it allows us to really cover the country and go fast. I carry only the essentials, and recently here in the past, I've added extra water, which has added some weight to my pack, but I try to keep my pack weight right around 14 to 16 pounds for the day. And that really is tough to do. I only bring the essentials, and I'm going to show you what those essentials are for a fast and light day in elk country. Okay, so here are the items that are actually in my day pack for our fast and light style of elk hunting. I use the EXO 2000. It's what I consider a crossover backpack. It allows me to day hunt light and fast, but then will punish me with loads that it can carry out. I found my limitations on what I can pack far before I find the limitations of the pack. So EXO 2000, and then I break my pack into three categories. I've got the essentials, I've got my hunt kit, and then I've got my kill kit. So between those three essentials, everything right here fits into one of those categories. So let's go through what's in my pack and show you. You'll find that it's very basic, only carrying the essentials. Start off with, I've got my hunting license for whatever state I'm hunting. I've got wind detector, so these wind detectors are invaluable to me. Just a quick little flip of the lid and we can tell which way the wind's going. I carry two of those, one's in my pocket, one is a backup in the pack. I've got a lighter, goes in the top in case we need to start a fire or need a fuel source for some reason. Within the essentials also I've got some Leukotape, which this roll is obviously new. I'll pare it down. It won't be quite as big in my actual pack for this fall, but Leukotape's important to prevent blisters. I've got a headlamp, and this is just an inexpensive Coast brand that I picked up at Costco for like $14. Works great. It's got the adjustable beam on it, which is important. I've got a flashlight, a good tactical flashlight that's going to last. It's going to be bright, so if we're packing out, hiking out, blood trailing in the dark, we've got good light. Both the headlamp and the flashlight use AAA batteries, so I've got enough AAA batteries in them to run them, and then a backup set for each day. Carry some lip balm of some kind in case it's dry and hot and lips get chapped. As we move into some other essential items, food is part of that, so I'll carry just some good protein bars, jerky, some kind of trail mix. These are just what I'm eating during the day. So we'll eat in the morning, either driving to where we're hiking or as we get up at our base camp, and then at night we'll come back and we'll have dinner there, usually a dehydrated or a freeze-dried meal. So I'm just packing the food that I need for the day to keep me going through the day. And with that, one of the essentials that I've really bulked up on more lately is water. And I carry 64 ounces of water, so 4 pounds of my day pack is consumed with water. And then I just take a couple packets of Mountain Ops Enduro to mix in with the water to give it some flavor, give me some of the important things to keep me going through the day, to give me energy, help me to not get dehydrated. And then a good solid roll of toilet paper, throw it in a Ziploc bag to keep it dry. That pretty much constitutes the essentials that I carry in the pack. So again, very basic, not a lot there. When it comes to the hunt side, I carry my rangefinder, and the rangefinder will go in my front right waist belt pocket. I'll also take and attach the cord to the shoulder strap. That way I can set it in the pocket if I'm moving in on an elk and not worry about setting it down or losing it. It's always attached to my pack, but it's also easily zipped away in that waist belt side on my right side. So the rangefinder, I used the Ranger 1500, the new Ranger 1800 this year from Vortex. I also always carry trekking poles, and I never used to carry trekking poles, but trekking poles have been a huge advantage, especially when we're packing weight. So Light pair of trekking poles. I use the Lecky. They're the titanium core takedown. They're super light, super small. They break down into 3 pieces each one, and they go in my pack. They're there all the time. So if I'm hiking in the morning, my bow will typically be on my pack. If it's before daylight, I'll be using the trekking poles. Then they go back in the pack until we're ready to come out or pack a heavy load. Another thing, obviously, I like to bugle. So bugle tube, I've got extra diaphragms in the zipper pouch here on my bugle tube. So I'll usually carry anywhere from 3 to 5 diaphragms in that pouch with me, and definitely enough to cover me for the hunt. And those are always in my hand. Usually carry this in my hand, my bow in my hand, and then wind detector in my pocket. Those are my 3 primary things in my hand. So I've got my bow, my bugle tube, my wind detector. Carry binoculars on me, so I'm wearing the binoculars. I use the Vortex 10x50, the Razor HDs. Another thing that I carry just kind of as a backup in my pack in the bottom of it is just a real lightweight compressible rain jacket. I don't bring rain pants typically. If it's raining hard enough I need to hunker down, I'm getting under a tree, I'm pulling on the rain jacket, waiting for a storm to pass, and then getting back out after it. So rain jacket's always in the bottom of the pack. I'll use it maybe once or twice a season during elk season. Other than that, we're running and gunning no matter what the weather is. When it comes to my kill kit, these are the items that I put in my pack for when we're successful. So they basically stay in there the entire time. They don't come out until we've harvested an elk, and that's when they become invaluable. So first thing obviously is game bags. I use the Ovis sacks, the XL sacks. There's enough here to do an entire elk, get the entire elk put into game bags, and make sure that the meat stays clean, no bugs on it, and preserve it while we're hiking out. So game bags. Then within my actual kill kit, I just take old, like the game bag sacks here once they're used, and I'll take and they work really good for a little carry case. And so I'll put my kill kit inside one of these, and in my kill kit I've got 25 or 30 feet of paracord just for tying quarters up on a meat pole. Paracord's always handy, especially when you get an animal down. So paracord. I've got some wet wipes, just a little packet of wet wipes. And then I've got my knife. I love a replaceable blade knife, so either the Havalon or the Gerber Vital, one of those two where I can replace blades and just swap it out when the blade gets dull. So I've got that with extra blades. I've got some flagging ribbon. So once we get a blood trail, we're going to be flagging it. It's important and handy to have this so that we can flag where the shot location was, where the elk was standing, and once we start following the blood trail, to be able to see where we've gone and keep track of that trail. So that's in there. And then also in the kill kit, I keep an extra flashlight with extra batteries. You just never know. And there's been a lot of times late at night you get out there and run out of light. And so this is my backup. I've got the headlamp and my main flashlight in my essentials, but inside my kill kit I always keep just a small flashlight as a backup. And then the last part of the kill kit is the camera. And so I just carry a little case. I use the Sony RX100 III, and I carry 4 or 5 extra batteries in there with it. And that way I've always got the camera ready to go. A lot of times this will end up in my other waist belt pocket, so I can capture a lot of things as we're hunting. And then this year I actually have a new camera that we're going to be carrying. It's actually the one I'm using to video this, and it's the Sony a6500. So that'll probably be in my pack, easily accessible, and obviously important to be able to get some good photos when we're successful. Aside from that, that's all that's in my pack. My gear that I wear on my body as I'm hiking, I wear Sitka gear, so I'm wearing either the Mountain or the Apex pants. I wear a Core lightweight long sleeve shirt for my base layer, and then either a Kelvin Active jacket or Apex hoodie for insulation, depending on the temperatures. Obviously, as it gets later into elk season, I'll throw on a Kelvin light vest or something for insulation. But again, fast and light on the gear. I'm wearing my binoculars on me as I'm hiking. All of this gear goes into my EXO 2000. And again, my goal is to keep that weight right around 15 pounds if I can. I never want to get above 20 pounds for day hunting, for that fast and light. The way we style, just that run and gun, bugle, looking for bugles, chasing elk, covering a lot of country. So that's the gear that I use. I know it's very limited. There's not a lot there, only the essentials, but that helps me keep my pack weight down to where I need it to be, so I'm able to cover a lot of country. And it's not uncommon in 7 days of hunting elk to cover 80 to 85 miles on foot. So definitely need a backpack that's going to stay light and also be able to carry those heavy weights. So when we do get an elk down, we aren't wasting a trip coming out. We're able to load that elk up in the pack, hike back out, get the elk meat taken care of, and get back out after it to fill another tag. So when it comes to loading the pack back up, I definitely have a method. I like to know where everything is. So the essential items are going to go in the top part. Those are the things that I need sometimes every day, basically. So I'm going to keep my license there. I'm going to keep flashlights there, toilet paper, Leuko tape, things like that. My kill kit, all of that's going to go in the bottom of the pack. Trekking poles on the side in the main compartment. Like I said, the camera, a lot of times I'll carry on the other waist belt pocket, and rangefinder in the other one. On the front face of the pack, that's where I usually keep my food, so it's easily accessible. If I want to stop and get a quick, grab a bite to eat, it's right there, grab that. Rain jacket stays in the bottom of the pack. One thing I forgot to mention, I do carry a first aid kit. It's just a basic first aid kit. That's always in the bottom of my pack. Within this, I've got some moleskin, I've got liquid bandages, I've got matches, just a bunch of first aid, essential type things. Fortunately, I've never had to use it, and it stays in the bottom of my pack, but this weighs 4 ounces and definitely doesn't take up a lot of space or a lot of weight. So that goes in the bottom of the pack. I'll just load my pack here. All right, so there you have it, pack fully loaded, ready to go. I'll have this loaded the night before when we get back to camp. In the morning, get up, grab it, throw it in the truck, and we're ready to head out. One thing I forgot to mention that I've found really handy, so I've got the pack on. Again, I carry the rangefinder attached to the shoulder strap here. And so I've got the string here into the rangefinder. Weight goes into the pocket, but it's also easy. I can grab it range. If I have to drop it for a second, it's right there and it's not sitting on the ground. So that's super effective. One other thing that I really have found handy is this little, on the waist belt, I carry a hook, and this hook is my bow hook, and that allows me to take my bow and set it right on that hook. So I can hike all day. All I have to do is basically hold the bow here to balance it. It actually balances really good by itself. But I can hike all day with that bow basically there, hands-free if I need to. So if I need to grab the binoculars, I can do it, I can let go. I can use the binoculars, bow's sitting right here. Makes it really handy for covering a lot of country, especially if we're stopping and bugling. That bow's right there, it's quickly accessible, but it's not exactly taking up a hand the entire time. So another feature on my pack that is really handy. Again, that's it. That's what we use for the fast and light, run and gun style, chasing bugles after elk. So good luck this elk season, and may you be successful.